Good afternoon, everyone. Thank y'all for coming out. As you know, this morning we had two explosions at two of our local schools. And at this time, we have several people on the platform with me this morning. Our main spokesperson is going to be Jane Robertson from the EMA. We have Dwayne Smith from the fire department. We have Christy Smith, they're all kin, from the police department, and we have John Hall from the school department, and we have Mike Smith from the mayor's office. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to John from Robertson from EMA.
All right, this morning at 8:15, there was an explosion reported at the campus of Jefferson State Community College. Fire and police responders to the location identified that the source of the explosion was a vehicle on the campus. It was parked near Carson Hall. The result of the explosion was significant structural damage to Carson Hall. Several vehicle fires were identified in the parking lot as well as a fire in Carson Hall. Additionally, several buildings on campus suffered glass breakage, and glass breakage was reported at the adjacent Centerpoint High School. The campus evacuation plan was immediately initiated using personnel from Jefferson State Community College's Police Department, Birmingham Police Department, and Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. The campus has been secured and a perimeter established that includes not only the Jeff State campus, but also the adjacent Centerpoint High School campus. Following the initial explosion reported at Jeff State, the emergency operations plan was initiated at Centerpoint High School. An evacuation of students inside the building was conducted, and fire personnel arrived at the scene to begin clearing the building. At approximately 9 o'clock, a secondary explosion occurred on the campus at Centerpoint High School. The origin of the explosion at that location also appears to be from a vehicle. The result of the explosion caused injury to a number of first responders, including the death of 4 fire personnel. It's important to note that no students nor faculty of either institution have been injured or killed. Additional information about the operations at both those scenes, as well as the ongoing investigation, can be provided by the personnel behind me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael from the Centerpoint Mayor's Office. I do want to express our grief and our sadness on behalf of the death of the 4 firefighters who were responding to the Centerpoint Fire Department, and that all resources from the Mayor's Office are being made available to any first responding agency that is working on this scene. We want to express our gratitude for the quick work that all the individuals and the agencies that are represented here respond to the scene, and we are grateful for the service that they provide to us every day and making us safer. We will be working with all state agencies, including the governor's office and any law enforcement agency possible. We're going to cooperate as best as we can to make sure that all the details are made available as quickly as possible, and that all the residents of our community feel safe and returning to school and to work. And thank you.
I'm Dwayne Stanley. I'm representing both fire departments that responded to City of Birmingham, which Jefferson State is on within the City of Birmingham, which the initial explosion took place around 8:15, I'm sorry. When Birmingham arrived on the scene, their initial report was cars and Carson Hall was structure fire. Once they established on the scene, it was brought under control pretty quickly. The secondary one was at Centerpoint High School, which is in the county, and Centerpoint Fire handled that one. I'm sorry to say, which has been reported already, there was some fatalities in that explosion. The names are being withheld till families are notified. At this point, the investigation is still going on, so no further comment on as to what happened at this point.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sergeant Christy Smith with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. As you have heard from the previous personnel, we are currently investigating 2 unknown explosions in the vicinity. Traffic has been diverted from these areas. We have we've notified the Jefferson County Bomb Squad, which is housed here locally at Centerpoint Fire Department, and they are looking through the areas for other devices as we speak. We will be updating the media on the hour as to any updates for bombs, anything in the area. If we have any, at this time, we don't know the identity or the source of these explosions, but we do have teams deployed at both Jefferson State Community College Calhoun campus, not Calhoun campus, at the Centerpoint campus, and also at Centerpoint High School. We ask that if the public has any information to please contact us immediately. We are going to go with the adage of see something, say something, and we appreciate everyone's support in this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John Mize, Jefferson County School System. As previously stated, the students at Centerpoint High School were evacuated from the high school prior to the secondary explosion. According to policy, county policy, the students have been transported via Jefferson County school buses and Jefferson County MAX system buses to Centerpoint First Baptist Church. The security was provided by Jefferson County Sheriff's Department and Birmingham Fire Department. Parents were notified. We have a system called School Messenger, which phones the students' homes or the parents' cell phones, however they desire to be notified. Can be also text or via email. Parents were notified. If there are some parents that did not receive that notification, the students are currently under security of the county at Centerpoint First Baptist Church and can be picked up there. The other schools within the school district are currently on lockdown until it's determined that those schools are safe. And I believe that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank everyone for coming out. If anyone, we're asking anyone in the public, if they have seen anything, please contact us by 205-254-7777. At this time, we'll take no comments, no questions at this time. I'm just kidding. Any questions? Yes, sir, with the mustache up front.
I have a question for the man representing the mayor's office.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Can you comment on the recent scandal at the mayor's office involving the sex scandal?
No, we cannot comment on that at this time. I don't think this is the appropriate venue to discuss further issues that don't involve this tragedy that happened today. I'd hope that being a member of the media that you would respect that. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
TJ Tuck, fake news. There's been a report from citizens that this is part of Antifa's take over the world because they hate Trump, and the fact that he called Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, a short fat man. Can that be confirmed?
Sir, at this time, we ask that you please respect the loss of life that we've had in this area. That has nothing to do with this event at this time. Any more questions? Short guy up front, can you stand up, please?
I am standing up. Is this an act of terrorism?
Sir, at this time, we don't have the information that can link this act to an act of terrorism. We are currently investigating the matter, and at the time that such information is discovered, it will be immediately released to the public.
But it was cars that exploded, right?
Yes, sir, that's the information we have at this time.
What kind of cars were they?
I can't release that information at this time.
So it is possible that this is caused by Antifa?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not going to speculate on that matter.
All right, last question. Anybody else got any last questions? Yes, sir, in the back.
Yes, can you tell us what engine company that was that responded to?
At this time, we're not going to reveal that information until we contact the family. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning. Know that you've all gotten reports of an explosion in the area. We here are going to go ahead and explain that to you. We have our representatives from each department that are going to explain exactly what happened and exactly what you all can expect to be released at what time. And we're going to ask you all to hold questions until after the actual news press conference has been over. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the City of Center Point's PIO, Wesley Powell.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the first responders and school officials for their prompt and professional response to this incident. I've been provided a brief timeline that I'd like to share with you, and we can provide that in writing for you after the briefing. We're going to allow the agency heads to address specific incidents or specifics to their agency after I read this timeline. At 8:15 a.m., reports to Jefferson 911 of a loud explosion was reported in the area of Jefferson State Community College. Sounds were heard in a 120-mile radius, according to the 911 center. Emergency responders were dispatched, and both Jefferson State and Centerpoint High School activated their emergency action plan and evacuated all students by 8:20 a.m. All students and faculty have been accounted for, and no injuries were reported. The explosion appeared to have originated in a dumpster on the campus of Jefferson State Community College. Responding units were the Birmingham Police Department, Jefferson State Police Department, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service, and Centerpoint Fire Department. Responders set up a command post and staging area at the Centerpoint High School. 40 minutes after the first explosion at 8:55, a secondary explosion went off at Centerpoint High School, resulting in 4 first responder fatalities. Identifications of the first responders and their agencies are being withheld until notification of next of kin. Our condolences go out to the crews and their families. The incident will now be briefed by the appropriate agencies.
At this time, we want to bring someone as a representative from Jefferson State Community College, Ms. Dorita Hill.
Good morning. I'm Demita Hill with Jefferson State Community College. As has been mentioned, there was an explosion in a dumpster at a building here at Jefferson State this morning. The building was the Harold Martin Building, which is on the southwest end of campus and is one of our remote buildings. The building was not occupied at the time. The building is a half a mile away from Centerpoint High School. Emergency plans at both Jefferson State Community College and Centerpoint High School have been activated. We would like to recognize the school resource officers that are assigned to Centerpoint High School and the Jefferson State Community College Police Department for their quick action in helping to evacuate all students and faculty members from both of these institutions. There were no injuries at either institution. All students and faculty have been accounted for, and we would like to ask that everyone please stay tuned to local media outlets for information regarding openings for the next few days so that we can be sure everyone is informed about the plans that will continue to unfold.
Now, at this time, we have called the state AMA, and we have our representative from that office, Mr. Justin McKenzie.
Good morning. At approximately 8:40, there was a second explosion at Centerpoint High School. At that time, 4 first responders have been declared deceased. We're not releasing any information on names or agencies from these first responders. When that happened, EMA was called. We made the appropriate notifications to the ATF, the FBI. We are not saying that this is a terrorist event. We are not saying that we know any type of cause. It is under investigation. We are making these notifications as long with other first responding agencies around to ensure that this process is expedited. The incident will be under control. We have cordoned off the areas around the schools. We ask that everyone stay a good distance away, stay clear from these areas so we can mitigate the situation, and we'll have more information for you at this time. Regarding the first responders and the events that's taking place, we have representatives from the fire department.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matthew Campbell. I'm the acting incident commander in control of the fire department and emergency services response for this incident. Mr. Powell has given you a very accurate timeline and brought everybody up to date on the information that we have at this time. This is an ongoing situation. It's very dynamic. It's very fluid. New information is coming in. We'll keep everyone apprised with regular updates as they are made available. That's all I have.
And that's going to conclude our news briefing today. Is there any questions?
Was it true that they said that one more was on campus at Jeff State was exposed?
That is not correct.
Wait, you second.
Can you ensure the safety of the other students in Jefferson County school system at this time?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can. All areas have been evacuated.
All other campuses have been searched for explosives?
They've been searched and evacuated, but at this time, we can't release any further information.
CNN Fake News. Now, you said the explosion happened at Jeff State at a rural building. It must have, how significant was the explosion if you had firemen at the high school? What led the firemen to the high school? Why were they there to perish anyway?
At that time, we were doing search and rescue efforts. We were going to make sure that all the area is quarantined and clear. They were in Center Point High School because it is the closest, school to the explosion other than Jeff State itself. So they were making sure that that area was cleared and there was no further medical or fire emergencies.
Were the homes in the area evacuated also?
The homes in the area have been notified. We've been given an evacuation order within a certain radius.
Have all students from both campuses been accounted for?
All students have all been accounted for from both campuses and surrounding areas.
A gentleman earlier said that the situation will be under control. Is that now leading us to believe that it's currently not under control and that there's further danger?
You would not be here if it was not under control. As of right now, we do have the situation under control and all further authorities have been notified.
Yeah, you say that we would not be here if it's under control. Does that mean that the scenario is over? People can go back to work, back to school?
No, that means that you as the press, we allowed you within this area to go ahead and give further information out to the public.
What do you mean by under control? Are you not under control now?
As is, this is a safe area to be.
So we're getting reports that people's water is out in the surrounding areas. Are there any concerns that there's water supply available to continue extinguishing the ongoing fires?
Water supply has been cut off so that it can be used for fire suppression, any further use that the emergency would need.
When can we tell people they'll have water again?
It will be turned off or turned back on once we're able to go ahead and put out further, if there's no further emergency.
Sir, question. You said, I'm not a fireman, I'm a news reporter. You stated that water was turned off. How are you going to fight the fire to turn water?
No.
If you don't have any water on, I mean, is there someone there?
With us having control of the mains, sir, we're going to go make sure that we're able to cut those off so that we're able to use it for fire suppression towards the hydrants.
Is this standard operating procedure for people to lose their water whenever there's a fire?
Standard if it's an emergency such as this.
The health department been notified that people are going to be pissing.
So we're going to have another scheduled briefing.
Let them bring it. Let them bring it.
An hour. No further questions. Thank you.
You guys have been attracting Trump this entire time, and we're going to make sure that you that'll be our final questions. Yeah.
stop, drop, and roll right now.
Y'all let me have it, but you got one more group. Let me ask you about the 60.
Oh, it's coming.
You did good though. You kept your composure a minute of it. Well, he kept digging that hole when we turned the water off. Well, how are we gonna fight fire when we turn the water off?
We cleared the school in 5 minutes? What? Everybody's safe.
Everybody's safe.
Dog-
You wouldn't be here.
Bomb dogs run around like ants.
And I was thinking, well, if the emergency is under control, why are you still suppressing fires that you need all the water in the county?
Exactly.
Well, you say the county? It's just surrounding.
No, he said county.
You said county?
Somebody said,
You misquoted me.
He said, "Well,
Misquoted.
Correction, you're gonna prove correction.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna need a correction on that, yeah. Do me a favor, I do you a favor.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. We would like to start this morning's news conference with a moment of silence in reflection for the lives of those lost this morning, as well as for their families. Thank you. I would like to start off by again welcoming everyone and thanking the agencies involved. We're going to start with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department with William Willamack Wright, the sheriff.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Around 8:15 this morning, public safety officials were dispatched to a possible explosion area of Center Point High School and Jefferson State Community College. At approximately 8:20 a.m., all Center Point High School and Jefferson State Community College students were safely evacuated. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and Center Point Fire District responded to the scene. While Center Point Fire Department's engine company were performing their duties, a second explosion occurred at approximately 9 a.m., resulting in the deaths of 4 first responders. Only minor damages were reported to Jefferson State Community College and Center Point High School. Both explosions are still under investigation, and more information will be released as it becomes available. The families of the 4 first responders have been notified, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Wright. Our next representative will be the Fire Chief of the Center Point Fire District, Brandon Whitley.
Good morning. At 8:15 this morning, the Center Point Fire District responded to an incident at the Center Point High School involving an explosion. Crews responded appropriately and assessed the situation during the primary response. At approximately 8:20 a.m., all Center Point High School students were safely evacuated off campus and out of the immediate area. There was minor damage to the school and no reported injuries at that time. At 9 a.m., a second explosion occurred on the school property. Unfortunately, this resulted in 4 first responder fatalities, as well as significant damage to the school. We have asked for assistance from the Alabama State Fire Marshal's Office and mutual aid assistance from both Trussville and Irondale Fire Departments. Both explosions are still under investigation, and more information will be released as it becomes available.
Thank you, Chief Whitley. Our next representative will be from the Jefferson County Schools, Public Relations Manager Whitley Lusk.
Thank you for being here. Jefferson County Schools would like to offer our deepest sympathy to the friends and family of the 4 firefighters who lost their lives while working to protect and serve our students and staff. It is without a doubt that we are very thankful and relieved to know that all Centerpoint High School students were safely evacuated. After the first explosion, Principal Van Phillips immediately called for an emergency evacuation and released an emergency broadcast alerting all Centerpoint High School students, families, and guardians. The Centerpoint staff was able to safely escort all students from the building, and from there, students either left in their own personal vehicles or were picked up by their guardians. Due to an ongoing investigation, there will be no school for Centerpoint High School tomorrow. We will update you as more information becomes available. We'd also like to thank the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, the Centerpoint Fire Department, the City of Centerpoint, the Centerpoint staff, and our Centerpoint SROs for protecting and serving our schools. Our thoughts and prayers will remain with those who have lost their loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lusk. Our next representative will be with the mayor of the city of Centerpoint, Mayor Ray Channel.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. At this time, the Mayor's Office for the City of Centerpoint would like to offer a statement. Earlier this morning, 4 firefighters with the City of Centerpoint died tragically in an explosion at Centerpoint High School. These men selflessly and bravely put themselves in harm's way and made the ultimate sacrifice. We ask for the prayers and support for the families at this time, as well as for the other members of the fire department that are continuing to work and provide safety to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Channel. Our last speaker will be a representative with the city of Birmingham, Mr. Richard Harvey.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the mayor's office and the city of Birmingham, we also would like to express our condolences to the loved ones that have, to the families of those that are lost today. The city of Birmingham has graciously been offered assistance to any of the organizations that are operating. Our public safety officials did take action this morning to the initial reports of explosion, working with the Jefferson State Community College Police Department. We have been in contact with our school officials in the Birmingham City Schools. They have initiated a lockdown and are currently going through their disaster plan at this time to make sure that the students of the schools are secure and properly taken care of. Other actions within the city of Birmingham, we have notified our public health officials to make sure that there are no air contaminants or sewer issues, or we don't have a problem with people pissing in the woods because somebody cut off the water. Birmingham Water Works as well is taking care of making sure that there's ample water supplies for whatever the needs may be. So at this time, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. And thank you to all of our agency representatives that have presented here today. At this time, we have a small amount of time for a few questions. We'll go right to left. Yes, sir.
From the FCC, I need his correspondence for that file language he used, so we can find him.
We can speak later on that after the press briefing. Yes, sir.
Gus McKenzie, Toss Point O. I heard a dog died. Has PETA been notified?
Sheriff?
Good call, good call.
No reports of a dog death at this time. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Chris Horn from Fox 6. Hey, the representative for the school system only stated evacuation plan and everyone was okay at the high school. What about the students at Jefferson State Community College?
Ms. Lusk?
We can only represent Jefferson County Schools. Jeff State is not here at this time. Thank you.
Did you state Jeff State was not good at this
State is not here at this time.
You would have to contact Jefferson State, but we have no reports of students remaining on campus. Yes, sir.
See, it's Fox, not as fake as CNN. This question is for the sheriff. Sheriff, there's 8,000 students in Jeff State alone. There's another 1,200 at Center Point High School. Each of those being suspects. It's been hours since the shooting. Did you let possibly 10,000 suspects go without questioning them? Or what was your protocol in their statements?
The school system was responsible for allowing the students to leave in their vehicles.
Thank you, Sheriff. And also, we have no information of a shooting whatsoever at this time. Yes, sir.
Were the 4 police officers that were killed at Jeff State chasing a suspect at the time of the explosion?
There were no police officers killed at either location.
So we don't have any first responder deaths in this incident?
We have 4 firefighter fatalities at this time. One more question. Sir, what's your question?
It's a two-pronged question. It's actually for you, PI.
Okay.
First, is your mustache sentient, and what do you condition it with? What product do you use? Does it move on its own?
I feel like at this time, that question is disrespectful to the families and to the members of the fire department.
That's what we're trying to say.
Sir, I'm not going to answer that question. Thank you all for being here again, and we will have another press briefing at the time that we have more information.
Are we good? All right, thank you everyone for coming this morning to the press conference. I'm Gerald Lyons, I'm the Public Information Officer for Jefferson County. First, I would like to introduce, we're going to have several guest speakers today. Please hold your questions until the very end. First, I would like to introduce Jefferson County Commissioner Jason Brannon.
Thank you all for coming out this morning. It is a very somber morning due to the events that have took place. The facts at this time are that at approximately 8:15 a.m. this morning, there was a loud boom that was heard for several miles around Birmingham and the surrounding counties. There were reports of damage at Jeff State and the Center Point High School with broken glass. Responding agencies were Birmingham Fire, Birmingham Police, Center Point Fire, and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Schools were evacuated, and no staff or students were injured in that incident. However, at approximately 8:39 a.m., a secondary explosion took place at Center Point High School. 4 members of the Center Point Fire District were killed in that blast. At this time, traffic has been diverted from those areas, and all classes have been canceled for both schools until further notice.
Thank you. Next, we have Jefferson County Fire Department spokesman Wes Ward.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Ward. I'm representing Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service in the Center Point Fire District today. As you've heard, we had a busy morning with a substantial response to reports of explosions. The second explosion did in fact kill 4 members of the Center Point Fire District. At the time of the explosion, those members were checking the building to ensure that all students and staff had evacuated. It's a tragic event. We're not releasing the names of those members at this time until proper family notification has taken place. We do want the public to know that the men and women of Center Point Fire District and of Birmingham Fire did an exemplary job in protecting civilian lives. No civilian casualties have been reported at this time. We'll also let you know that emergency services continue in the area graciously from our surrounding departments. Birmingham Fire from the other side of town has backfilled fire stations that are now vacant for responders on our active scene. We also have mutual aid from Trussville Fire, Palmerdale Fire District, and Forestdale Fire. We'll update you on the events as those facts become available, and we appreciate your respecting the families of those that are deceased and giving them some time, and the members of our department some time to digest the events of today.
Next, with the Jefferson County Law Enforcement Agency, we have TJ Tuck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, we have diverted traffic from these areas as the damage caused. I have called in extra support, off-duty personnel. I've also called in the federal agencies, ATF and FBI, to assist with the investigation. As of right now, we don't know a motive or any suspects. If you will, keep your traffic limited, this area, to people who live in these areas, and anyone that does not live, just please divert. Thank you.
Next, with the school system, we have David Bobo.
Good morning. Just a tragic morning today. Our hearts are heavy for those that have lost their lives and the families. Our thoughts and prayers with them today. Would like to say a big thank you to these gentlemen behind me and their staffs for moving quickly. Their preparation and their expertise and their quick moving actually saved lives of students. So our hearts are heavy with those that are lost, but we're also thankful that this could have been a disaster that would have cost even more lives. So we're very thankful for that. As mentioned, we are postponing all classes on both campuses until our investigation is complete and we feel that it's secure and safe to return to classes. But thank you.
Now then, I would like to open this up for any questions.
Was this an intentional act?
Would you like to?
At this time, everything's still under investigation. We're not sure if it's going to be an intentional act or a disaster that we could not foresee. Right now, we're just leaving that into investigation, and we'll follow up later on.
Yes, sir.
Have there been any phone threats, any calls to the schools earlier that day?
Again, that's going to be part of the investigation that's ongoing. We're looking into that. Right now, I don't have any facts to let you know if there was or was not.
Yes, sir.
Any explosive devices found?
As well?
As of right now, it's unsure of what caused the explosion, if it was an intentional act or just an accident.
Yes, sir, in the back.
Can you speak to the rest of the schools in the county? Are they currently still holding classes? Are they on lockdown now? Are students been released? What can we tell our parents?
Part of our plan is to communicate, and that has been done with all the schools in the area, all the school system. So they are making those decisions and locking down as they feel necessary. Right now, we have several that have dismissed classes. There may be more, and we're working on that right now.
Last question. Yes, sir.
Are there any hazards in the area that the residents may need to be worried about?
Right now, there's been no reports of any hazardous materials release or any hazards to citizens around the area. But again, it's an active scene and an active investigation. We ask that everyone just stay clear of the area until further notice.
All right, thank you again, guys, for coming. We will hold another press conference. We will announce that at a later time. We'll make sure that everyone is aware. Thank you.